Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Tahira und wir machen nochmal hier diesen Checkpoint-Dings. Dass der letzte kam, weil vielleicht sollte ich das davor auch nochmal neu machen, um hier besser reinzugehen. Dass wir hier oben alle besonderen haben, hat mir eigentlich schon ganz gut gefallen. Der da. Die beiden sind aber fast im Arsch. Der hat einen Punkt. Die Frage ist, ob es überhaupt einen Sinn macht, die hier unten eigentlich reinzustellen. Denn schlussendlich laufen die ja da direkt in den Tod. Also die können ja eigentlich diesen Hinterhalt gar nicht gescheit ausnutzen. Ja. Gut. Der macht zu wenig Schaden. Nehmen wir die als nächstes. Die hat nur einen Will. Damit tötet die zumindest den einen und bekommt damit auch wieder Mana zurück. 2 getötet, was? Okay. Ist auch okay. Move. Machen wir hier mehr Flankierung. Dann nehmen wir uns den davor. Der müsste eigentlich den getötet bekommen. Den müsste er auch tot bekommen. Ja, da habe ich Glück gehabt, dass die Tante den einen, glaube ich, kritisch getroffen hat und damit den Weg für ihn frei gemacht hat. Vielleicht wäre es klüger gewesen, ihn drinnen zu lassen. Wahrscheinlich sogar. So. Sollte man da jetzt überhaupt angreifen? Der hat ein Dings. Die machen zu wenig Schaden, um da irgendwie ordentlich was anzurichten. Und der hier ist natürlich auch doof. Vielleicht wäre es da klüger gewesen, alle unten reinzuschicken. Weil hier der ist halt direkt ein starker. Wir könnten den nach vorne schieben quasi. Aber so wahnsinnig viel nutzen wird das auch nicht. Vielleicht ist es hier auch das Klügste, erstmal auszuhalten einfach. Lalalala. Lalalala. Zwölf. Das ist eigentlich zu wenig. Ah, schön, aber zu wenig. Ja, war Vicious Strikes wahrscheinlich Unsinn. Der kann aber jetzt hier so. Jawohl. Da könnten wir oben beide treffen. Oder wir schießen unten rein. Oder die wartet erstmal ab. Gucken wir mal, wie die sich jetzt neu positionieren und wie ich die dann tatsächlich umbringen kann. Ja, okay. Ja, den müsste man eigentlich drin lassen. Der braucht Heilung. Also wenn wir mal gucken, dass wir den ja vermöbeln. Könnten wir aber auch Crushing. War überhaupt kein Unterschied, oder? Doch. 7. Das müsste aber auch reichen. Ne, reicht wahrscheinlich. Doch, reicht. Wunderbar, weiter. Sehr gut, hier unten haben wir noch den einen Typi. So. Letzte Chance hier Piu Piu zu machen. Tahira will dodge the first denial attack made against her each turn. Aha. Ich glaube, mehr kann ich mir nicht erlauben, noch näher ranzugehen. Aber damit können wir auch schon ordentlich Schaden machen. Die wird jetzt wahrscheinlich trotzdem angegriffen werden. Aber dann müsste sie sich rausfriemeln können. Ne, die laufen unten hin, okay. Ja. Okay. 10 ist zu wenig. Wer könnte den da unten abmessern? Den würde auch sterben. Auch mal hier. Ein normalen, ne, reicht nicht. Zurück. Der muss laufen. Der hat uns hier keine Chance. So. Die kann nochmal schießen, tötet dabei leider keinen und dann muss sie einen im Nahkampf töten. Mache ich aber trotzdem. Damit sehen die jetzt zumindest ganz gut aus. Wir können nicht schießen. Den haben wir. Ja. Heilen. Mhm. Warten wir mal ab, würde ich sagen. Oder? Ja. Das sieht zwar etwas dumm aus, aber ich glaube, das ist das Klügste, was ich da machen kann. Die hat ja zumindest noch ganz gut Hitpoints. Mhm. Na, jetzt macht er weniger Schaden. So, jetzt kann ich aber so ziemlich alle bewegen. Fangen wir hier an mit dem da. Der kann sich ja jetzt durchmessern. Ja, 12. Das reicht nicht. Aber wenn der sich dahin stellt und dem auch einer reinhaut. Das geht nicht. Das ist ein normaler. Okay. Weg. Der wird den so nicht töten, aber dann ziehen wir hier mal den noch nach. 17, der reicht auch noch nicht. Okay, dann machen wir jetzt den Vicious Strike. Oder der boostet sich. Das macht vermutlich sogar am meisten Sinn. Wobei der 2, der könnte beide umbringen. Ne, dann machen wir das so. Wunderbar. Vorwärts. Den da könnte man theoretisch auch töten. Der muss weg. Ja, oder der bringt. Ne, er kann nur noch 2. Ja, mach mal den. Guard, weil er sich nur noch ein Feld bewegen könnte. Ja, sieht doch gut aus. Noch Bogenschützen, das ist kein Problem mehr. Ach, ja, okay, klar. Da ist ja jetzt nochmal dran, weil die Runde direkt zu Ende war. Kann er aber verhältnismäßig wenig anrichten. Doch, 16, der ist weg. Doch, der bringt alle um. Wunderbar. Und der letzte Bogenschütze. Puh, nicht schlecht, nicht schlecht. Another victory to add to our list of exploits, Baruti. We would have been overrun without your assistance, Claw. I'm not so sure. I saw Tariq do some spectacular things in battle with that stuff. If the situation were dire enough, I'd bet Tahira capable of similar things. Your faith may be misplaced, Claw. I haven't even had it for a day yet. I don't feel like I understand how it works at all. My advice, don't overthink it. Life has a way of working out when you trust your instincts. That seems like a tenuous life philosophy. I'm still here, aren't I? That's more than that can be said by most people who lived a life like mine. True enough, though not everyone is as skilled with the blade as you. Oh Baruti, do go on. And feed that ego of yours? I think not. It has been a long day. Let us finish the journey to Tahira. There may be time for some rest before the next battle. A good idea. There is an old friend waiting for us there. Ah, I was wondering where she was. Who is she? Oh, you will see. Tahira, before we go, about the bodies in the tree. I was wondering when you were going to bring that up. Listen to me next time. It's already forgotten. As long as you listen to me the next time I bring something up. I'll think about it. I'll do what I can to help you and your people, I promise you that. I'll hold you to that, Claw. General Pheromont, why have you stopped, soldier? I'm sorry, sir. I saw the dead. I had to stop. It's my brother. We are so far from. I had to say goodbye. Do not apologize to me, soldier. Yours is a worthy reason. Why are we still chasing these people, sir? We've broken them. Have we? Where are you from, soldier? Luena, sir. Ah, Luena. It is a beautiful city, a true testament to the glories of our past. You've been there, sir? Many years ago, I remember walking amongst its endless spires as they glistened in the sunlight. I used to do the same thing with my family, sir. A memory worth remembering. But when you walked with them, soldier, did you notice how the streets echoed? How they echoed, sir? I'm not sure I understand. A city built for millions, inhabited by thousands. Those streets echo with the betrayal of our people, soldier. Once we shaped worlds to our liking, we traversed the stars with impunity. But we were betrayed by those of lesser minds. The savages on this continent did this to us. They rejected progress and condemned us to live on this husk of a planet. But this time we will not make the mistakes of the past. All who are not with us will be destroyed, and we will ascend back to the stars. That is our destiny, our right. Do you understand, soldier? Yes, sir. Good. I will arrange a burial for your brother and our other fallen comrades. Go now. Tell the captains ahead of us to prepare for an attack. It is time we brought what is left of this resistance to its knees. I will, sir. Thank you, sir. Do not thank me. You are the vanguard of a better future for us all. Rejoice in that, soldier. Things will not remain like this. Dust. This planet is choked with it. I will not let us die here. Tahira. The last dreams of home. There's no one here. Ever this place did remind me of the past. Memories and spirits linger here longer than they should. Ah yes, that pretended Baruti comfort. How I've missed it. You know just how to spook someone, my friend. And you do not have enough faith, Tahira. She's here. Let me show you. Has anyone seen a rather aggressive and robust woman? Some might call her unnaturally robust. Others say she has much of the Sasquatch about her. Vorschlaghammer. If the scrawny little man doesn't want to create the world's most pathetic imprint in the earth below, I suggest he check his tongue. My dear, I did not say others. My dear, did I not say others, doch? I see you as a magnificent pearl whose rare beauty is only witnessed by those brave enough to plunder your depths. Such big words from such a tiny man. I'm surprised you got here so soon. Your little legs must make travel difficult. My little legs, but you are forgetting my most important leg. Enough! Now is not the time, little man. There are people here I must greet. Baruti, the Lion of Avestan. Well met, old friend. We gave you and Tariq our word 20 years ago that we would visit your kingdom. The Hammer. Oh, well met indeed. It was been too long. It is my shame that it has taken circumstances such as these for us to fulfill our pledge. Is this Tariq's daughter I see with you? My name is Tahira. Salam, Tahira. I've looked forward to meeting you. Anyone who is willing to stand up to Tariq has the sort of guts I admire. Where is he anyway? I much desired to continue an argument with him. Tariq has fallen, Hammer. He was attacked in the light by the invaders. He took them all with him, a hard old bastard till the day he died. These days are full of woe, my friends. Both of you have my sympathy. Tariq was a good man. There are few enough of those amongst the rulers left on this world. He would have enjoyed seeing you both again. What's the situation in town? Has everyone been evacuated? All the buildings were abandoned when we arrived, but there has been a steady stream of refugees passing through all evening. The last were here no more than half an hour ago. Despite our best efforts, the enemy is not far behind us. There aren't many defensive positions between here and Bar Aid. We'll have to hold Tira for as long as we can. We anticipated as much. My women have been barricading the town entrance and preparing some defenses from their archers. Lend me some of your men, and we should be able to make short work of what remains. Of course, consider them yours to command. Good. Then I'll get back to it. I'm afraid I must borrow the Claw. He's a master of short work, though his foul plumage does add a few desperately needed inches. Does this mean you have a use for my long sword? You'll have to come with me if you want to find out. Tahira, Baruti, it has been a pleasure. I will see you both a little later. I have some things to do, tend to. Are they? Almost certainly. I see. They are quite something. They both have their failings, but they are good people. Of that I have no doubt, Baruti. Shall we see what awaits us in town? A fine idea. They are making short work of the barricades. Indeed, we will be able to mount a strong defense here. Though I fear it will be a bloody battle. Every time we fight them, it's bloody, Baruti. At least now we have some allies. True, they are good friends, the only ones who came to our aid despite our treaties with Babylon and Asmara. I've been wanting to talk to you about that. With Asmara's betrayal, we can no longer hope to make the journey to Babylon, even if we can escape the enemy. You're right, I've been worrying about it since the Claw delivered the news. There are other mountain roads, which lead from the pass, but they all go north. I have not been that way in many years. If the drought and devastation that have struck our kingdom have occurred there as well, then I worry for our ability to feed everyone who has escaped. There's nothing we can do about it now. Let's just focus on getting to Bar Aid. That will be no mean feat given the way the night is unfolding. You're right, Tahira. You especially should get some sleep. How many consecutive days have you been in the saddle? This will be the sixth. You're right. It has been a long day already. If you have the energy before bed, it would do the soldiers good to see you amongst them. I am sure the Claw and the Hammer would like to talk to you as well. Must I, Baruti? You keep telling me that my presence will lift people's spirits, but I don't think I see what you see. I barely understand how this stuff works. I'll never be able to walk in the light like Father did. Listen to me, to the man speak, Tahira. I think you will be surprised. As for the stuff, you're being too hard on yourself. It took your father many years to master its uses. You've had it for less than a day. Very well, at least there are some stars to sleep under tonight. You're sure you want to sleep outside? There are plenty of beds in the monastery. I've never liked that place. I always feel as if I am being watched when I walk around it. I understand. I spoke truly before. There is something about this place. Ancient memories linger within the stones of these mountains. Their spirits are restless. I did not take you for a superstitious man, Baruti. There are many things in this world that I do not understand, Tahira. I trust my instincts. The rest I leave to other people. That sounds like a wise approach. Good night, Baruti. Good night. I will wake you when the enemy arrives. Aha. Können wir mal wieder rumlaufen. Das hat es ja jetzt auch schon lange nicht mehr gegeben. Do you hear the wind howling through the houses, Tahira? This is a haunting place. It's strange to walk amongst the empty buildings. I half expect to see candlelight each time I look through a window. Tonight must be the first time your people have not occupied this land for hundreds of years. I'm sorry about Mazdak. Keine Ahnung, wer Mazdak jetzt war. We've been so focused on Aveston and surviving that I haven't told you how sorry I am about the fate of Mazdak. Thank you, Tahira. I was saddened by the news, but it has been a long time since I had ties to that kingdom. The last was my mother, and she passed from this world many years ago. How did you come to serve Aveston? Your father never told you the story? No, he didn't. I've heard bits and pieces from a few people, but never the whole tale. It must have been 35 years ago. Mazdak was ruled by a man known only as the Slave King. Slavery was outlawed in most kingdoms on the continent, but not in Mazdak. Many traders from other lands traveled across the ocean to buy slaves from the city. I was one of the lucky ones. My mother's owner ran a shipyard. When I was old enough, I was put to work there. It was hard work, but it was better than being taken to some far-off kingdom, or worse, taken to the Slave King's palace. I'd been working there for a few years when I started to hear stories of a man who claimed he would depose the Slave King and abolish slavery. No one I knew had met him, but there was a rumor that he was a butcher from the merchants' district. His supporters called him the Butcher of Mazdak. Concerned that he was losing control of the city, the Slave King imposed martial law and started executing any slaves who were caught speaking of freedom. That was the final straw for your grandfather, who had long wanted to end the practice of slavery. He declared war on the Slave King and marched the Avestani army of Mazdak. I was pressed into service as a scavenger. Between battles, I searched the dead on the battlefield for weapons and armor that could still be used. On one of my forays, I found a young Avestani soldier who had been left for dead. He was still breathing, so I picked him up and carried him to the Avestani lines. He was your father. So you joined the Avestani army after that? Indeed, your grandfather made me a royal guard. What happened to the Slave King? He had a simple death. In the end, while the army was out fighting the war, the Butcher of Mazdak led a rebellion and took control of the city. The Slave King found himself caught between the walls of his city and the Avestani army. Most of his force chose to surrender, but he did not. Your grandfather challenged him to single combat, and it took only minutes to cut him down. What do you know about Tahira? You're right about this place. It's strange here. The air feels suffocating. I wish I knew more about its history. Father was always very dismissive of it, but I feel like I should understand our history. I'm afraid I can't be of much help. As you already know, the land here is your people's ancestral homeland. They lived here long before the Babylonians ever crossed the mountains. I wonder what it was like back then. You have only to look at the monastery to get some idea. I've heard a few stories of the monks who studied here. Some say they were masters of the light. Would that they were still here, was? So they could teach me their ways. Your father once told me that the barbarian tribes used to come here once a year on a pilgrimage. That was before the Babylonians drove them away, of course. They seem angry at us for that. They saw it as betrayal, but your ancestors had the choice of allying with the Babylonians or being driven from this land just as the barbarians were. I don't see how that is so different to what is happening now, Baruti. No, I suppose it isn't, but to carry a grudge for 300 years, that is a poisonous thing. At some point, you must accept the wrongs of the past and move on. That's easy to say when you're not the one who was wronged. Leave. I'm going to go to talk a few more people, Baruti. Of course, Tahira. I'll see you later. Campfire chatter. Then she charged ahead into battle. You should have seen her, my friends, the light beaming from her staff. She felled scores of them by herself. I charged in behind her, her words still ringing in my ears. Do not let fear cage that which you know to be true in your heart. It worked. I beat back my fear and I came out alive. She's wise beyond her years. The leader we need in these dark times. Ha, this tune has changed. You should have heard him before she arrived. She has got a lot to prove to me. It looks like she has done that, Yunus. You must stop telling people that, Musat. I will not have anyone speak badly of the princess, and I do not like people knowing that I did so. Perhaps you shouldn't have said it back then. But come. I'm only joking, my friend. She has led us well, of that there is no doubt. With our new and old friends by our side, I have begun to hope for the future of our people again. Well said, Musat, well said. Da kann man nicht vorbei. The Claw. Look who it is, my favorite princess. You're in a good mood, Claw. And why not? We are alive and free. Yes, I'm sure that's it. Tell me about Oren. I must confess, Claw, I don't know much about your homeland. I can't say I'm surprised that Tariq and Baruti did not speak about it with you. Even I find it hard to recall the good times without also remembering the war. Baruti has told me a little about the sack of Oren. Ha, why doesn't that surprise me? He has always been one to only tell the depressing part of the story. I wish you could have seen Oren in its glory, Tahira. It was a happy place. A place where you were free to live the way you wanted to. We were not bound by the ancient laws of the Babylonians or the shadowed memories of the Astral Empire. People have forgotten now, but Oren was a republic. All citizens were considered equal. We had no monarchy, nor any discrimination based on race or gender. It sounds amazing. I have always thought Everston would be a better kingdom if all its citizens had a say in its future. That's why you will make a better ruler than most, Tahira. In my youthful naivety, I considered Oren a beacon of hope that all people would flock to in time. Any dreams I had of that world died a long time ago. What did the Babylonians do to you? The way you speak about Babylon, it's clear you think poorly of them. I do, and with good reason. What did they do to you? The same thing that they have now done to you. They promised us help and did not deliver on that promise. To understand the betrayal, there are a few things you need to know, Tahira. For as long as any living Oranian can remember, we had been in conflict with the warlords who ruled the kingdoms along our southern border. In the capital, we'd hear stories of raids, with farm animals stolen, or very occasionally rumors of a village being attacked. Mostly, though, the threat of the Oranian army marching south kept them in check. But that began to change. The stories of raiding parties became more frequent, and they were no longer limited to the towns near the border. I was only 16 when this was happening, a junior officer who had some skill with a blade, but no concept of what war was really like. A report came in that shocked the army into action. One of the border towns had been sacked. The raiders had hacked apart every villager they could find and left them as a pile of limbs at the town entrance. In hindsight, it was a warning of what was to come. The raids continued to become more frequent, and each one was more brutal than the last. Finally, my regiment was sent south to get the situation under control. The things I saw down there, Tahira, it was butchery, the likes of which I'm not sure even the enemy we're fighting now could match. We soon learned they were not killing to gain territory, food or valuables. They were killing because they wanted to. They felt it was their purpose. Sounds horrific. It was. I remember the first man we captured. His arms and legs were dripping with blood from cuts he had given himself. We needed to learn more about these people, so we tied him up and listened to him speak for hours. He spoke of this world being doomed to die, of the fall of the Astral Empire and the end of all things. Most disturbing of all, he spoke of their leader, a man he referred to only as Asmaveth. He told us Asmaveth had given this name to the world to free us from our bodies so we could become one with the light. He created a death cult, Tahira. The ideas of one man did that. That's terrifying. Most people in this world are followers, Tahira. You must make them follow you, otherwise they will find someone else who may not care for others the way you do. I learned that the hard way. I'm sorry, I know I have not answered your question, but I do not wish to think of those people anymore. Of course, Claw, I understand. If you want to hear the rest of the tale, ask the hammer. She is stronger than I and will not bark at the telling. Leave. I'll see you later, Claw. Of course, Tahira. Until next time. Sluice Gate. Are you lot nearly done with that? I've nearly got it. Well, be done soon, Claw. Good. Get yourself something to eat when you are. I hear it's vulture stew. Dinner talk. Did I see a vulture, a beak in that stew? Yes, is that a problem? No, I'm quite fond of vulture actually. It definitely beats rats or eating our horses. Ha, you are not wrong about that. My name is Ointura. Pleased to be fighting by your side. My name is Abdullah. It's a pleasure to fight by your side too. How long have you been with the hammer and claw? 5 years. Most Iranians who come of age join up at least for a year or two. You must like it to stay so long. It's an exciting life. Who would not want to fight alongside the claw and the hammer? They are legends. It was they who single-handedly held the gates of the commoners' quarter when the rest of Oran had fallen to the hordes of the Asmaveth. They saved so many people, Abdullah, but now we are a nation with no home, so we fight with our heroes and trust them to lead us. Well, what do you think of that? I think that's amazing, Ointyra. Da haben wir noch den Hammer. Das wird wohl dann auch das letzte sein. Aber mit dem Pferd können wir noch reden. How does it look from up there? It looks good. We just need to fill in the gap and we should be done. Tahira, I was hoping we'd have a chance to speak. I have to thank you for coming to help us, Hammer. There's no need for that. We have not forgotten what your people did for us. The Claw was telling me about Asmaveth. I was speaking to the Claw earlier. He was telling me about the war. It sounded horrible. He could not bear to tell me the whole story though. Where did he get up to? He was telling me about the man his regiment captured, the one who told him about Asmaveth. Then he did not tell you the whole worst part of that story, else you would have mentioned it. The Klaus commander did not have the man killed, as he wanted to bring him back to the capital. He escaped in the night, helped by one of the soldiers. He was helped? Why would anyone do that? That's a good question. He was the first Iranian I know who was seduced by Asmaveth, but he was not the last. While this was going on, I was on expedition to the east. I returned to the capital just in time to hear the news that Hilm, the largest town south of the capital, had fallen. There were so many refugees in the capital that it was all the army could do to maintain order in the city. So we sent out requests for aid to neighboring kingdoms. Queen Delphine of Babylon replied swiftly, telling us she would bring her army and put an end to Asmaveth and his followers. So we waited inside the capital as it was encircled. It was the perfect trap, and they would lay siege to the city and the Babylonians would be able to destroy them in one blow. Except the Babylonians never came. How could they not? I believe they saw an opportunity to eliminate a rival and they took it. Things grew dire after that. Every night those madmen would catapult scores of themselves over the city walls. That's when the attacks began. Our own people started turning on us. I don't know if they really believed Asmaveth's lies or if it had just become too much for them. Not that it matters. One by one we lost control of the city's district until everyone who had not lost their minds sat squawking behind the walls of the commoners' quarter. It was horrible, Tahira. I still have nights when I wake up in a cold sweat remembering those days. I cannot imagine, Hammer. We thought we were done for, but then your father came. I remember seeing the white light of his staff split the night sky and wondering if I was dreaming. Then I heard the hours and the battle cries of our people, and I knew I was not. Your father and Baruti cut a path through the fanatics to the gates of the city. We fought all night to keep the path clear for our people to escape. Many Avestani and Iranian lives were lost at that night, but we lived thanks to Avestan's sacrifice. Now I understand why people talk of my father the way they do. He did a great thing, Tahira. He was already a crotchery bastard back then. I cannot imagine what you had to grow up dealing with. Crotchery is one word for it. Never mind that. Hammer, please finish your story. Queen Delphine's brother, Isidore, seized the throne after that and finally marched the Babylonian army south to destroy Asmaveth and his followers. But when they arrived at the capital, they found only a charred ruin filled with the dead. The fanatics had burned themselves alive. We had nothing to return to. I'm sorry, Hammer. I fear you and your people are in the same situation now, Tahira. Rest assured that we will stand by you. How long have you led your own mercenary company? I've never seen so many female fighters. They look very experienced, even the young ones. How long have you been leading them? It must be nearly 20 years now. When we lost our homeland, Babylon took us in, but we did not want to live off their charity. Our people needed money for food and materials so we could grow our industries again. So you and the Claw started the company? Indeed, we had become quite famous among what was left of our people. The remains of the army joined us, as did a few Babylonians who were sympathetic to our cause. These days, a year or two of service has become a tradition for Iranian youngsters when they come of age. Is there much work for mercenaries? I would have thought the Babylonian army would be powerful enough to keep the peace. Ha! You vastly overestimate them if you think they ever leave their precious city. There's always a town somewhere that needs protection from bandits, or failing that, a merchant who will pay well to be escorted to their next destination. Occasionally, if the tribesmen from the south encroach on Babylon's borders, they hire us to drive them away. It's not a glamorous life, but it's better than begging for charity. Okay, I'll talk to you later, Hammer. Until then. Puh, fertig gelabert. Jetzt gehen wir zurück zum Pferd und dann wird wahrscheinlich geschlafen. Iba. Have you got enough to eat, Iba? Happy Winnie. Okay. Sleep. Sleep. Mind if I join you, Iba? Happy Winnie. King Tariq. Father? Where did he go? The words of Lamai. The owl lives in darkness, but is not consumed by it. She opens her eyes and sees light all around. Lamai Dilzek. The forest grows and the fire consumes it. This is a natural balance. Creation and destruction. The light and the dark. Lamai Dilzek. To find the light within yourself, you must first accept the darkness. Only then will you have balance. Lamai Idilzek. Decay is an inevitable part of life. Accept that all things must end, for without endings we would not have beginnings. Lamai Idilzek. The owl does not impose their views on another. Instead, she seeks balance within herself. An ideology in its purest form is one that does not judge. It simply is. A mind that rejects new ideas and perspectives is not balanced. An unbalanced mind cannot grasp the mysterious energy that moves constellations. Hat das eine andere Farbe? There is nothing to fear in the unknown. It is an opportunity for discovery. Once you have balance, you will find the conviction to walk in the light. If you open yourself to the cosmic swirl, you will see the light and understand that it is a part of you. Lamai Dilzek. Brightness falls, but I do not try and grasp it. Instead, I look closely and try to discern the hand which guides it. You have to come to see me once again, Tahira. Who are you? I don't know what you are talking about. I've never seen you before. Who are you? Then you do not remember me. That is disappointing, but not surprising. Step forward and let us speak together once again. You didn't answer my question. I am the stuttering heart of a moribund people, and you, Tahira, are the flame that flickers defiantly in the face of death. I have been called many things, for whatever good it will do you. You may call me as my Khalid, a flame flickering lost in the dark. I have dreamt of that in my darkest dreams. How do you know of it? The world spins and we spin with it. We have had this conversation before, Tahira. But now we are running out of time. I will ask you once again. Are you afraid? Of course I am. My father and friends are dead. An army wishes to destroy all that is left of my people. A grateful people who do not realize that they should be angry with me for abandoning them. How could I not be afraid? You have grown wiser since the last time we spoke. For the first time your eyes have begun to open. Yet none of the fears you named are from within. What does the flame that flickers mean to you? It means death. It means the destruction of my people. It means I am caged. A cage is only as big as you make it. Look inward rather than outward, and you will see that you have no cage around you, only light. Stars fall, screaming to the ground. The light shifts, and an empire withers. Now, an army looks to the heavens, and a princess rises. This is your reality. If you choose to accept it, when you do, you will find yourself alone upon a mountaintop, connected to all that has come before and all that will be, but a slave to neither. Do you understand me? No? When you use that stuff, the one you are clutching so tightly in your hand, what do you feel? Like I'm reaching for something. I know it's there, but I can't quite grasp it. Therein lies my point. The thing that you are reaching for is not yours to control. It will come to you if it wants to, not because you want it to. What do you mean? What will come to me? If you have to ask that, then you have not understood. You haven't explained anything to me. I will offer you a choice. You can stay here in the world that you are in, seated on the mountaintop, a part of the ebb and flow of the natural world, to live and to die when it's your time, free if you want to be. What is my other choice? You can float up from the mountain to enter a new realm that you have always known existed, but never understood. Something no one has understood except perhaps in death. Which do you choose? I still don't understand. I have no idea what you're talking about. It does not matter. You are yet to reach the mountaintop, and when you do, you will find that the choice has already been made. Made by who, and what did they decide? Do you not know? As this world spins, we spin, Tahira. We have had this conversation before. You keep saying that, but I don't remember you. Next time, you will. The choice has been made by many. Some choose the new realm, others did not. Let me show you. Tahira! Are they here, Baruti? They are massing outside the... Scouts, well spotted. When did you learn to do that? Stars fall screaming to the ground, the light shifts, and an empire withers. Now an army looks to the heavens, and a princess rises. Those are prophetic words, Tahira. Where did you hear them? I can't remember. I had a strange dream, Baruti. It was so clear, but now it's gone. Wait, where's Iba? We took him and the other horses to the top of town before we blocked the road. Okay, good. Let's get to the others before the assault begins. Follow me. Uh-huh. None of the scouts have returned, Colonel. These Avestanis have an animal cunning. Are the men prepared for an attack? Nearly, sir. They are still organizing themselves. Colonel Teil, I bring word from the General Fairmont. What is it, soldier? The army will arrive within the next 2 hours. He requests you begin a full assault. Good, I have enough of this waiting. But sir, they need more time. They've had enough time. We are the Astral Empire, Lieutenant. These animals will be no match for us. Forward, man! Take this pitiful place they call a town. Here they come. There's a lot of them this time. We'll have to deploy our forces to defend all 4 roads, or we will be overwhelmed. Remember, we are not trying to drive them back. We just want to hold them here for as long as we can. We can't let them break through the second level. If they do, we'll be trapped. The long grass and buildings will give us good cover from their archers. And those ditches will be perfect to help us move between the roads. Is everybody ready? I'm always ready, Baruti. Anything is better than standing here waiting. Agreed. It has been too long since my last fight. My hammer grows restless. In order to better defend Tahira, your forces have set up several supply caches, such as these. Each one can be used to fully restore units guard up to 3 times. To use one, move an injured unit to an adjacent tile and click on the icon that appears. Some ambush points in Tahira have multiple exits. A unit hiding in one of these can ambush the enemy from either of these points at any time. Don't forget that the units can re-enter an ambush point if there are no enemy units nearby. Ja, das war aber über eine gewisse Distanz. Good use of these ambush points will be crucial to defending Tahira. This blue zone of control is the only way to advance deeper into Tahira. Currently, your forces hold it, but if your enemy takes control of it from you, you will no longer be able to properly defend Tahira and you will lose. Your enemy will gain control of this zone of control if at any stage they have a unit. Was? If at any stage they have a unit in it and none of your units are within 3 tiles of it. So, dann werde ich hier auch erstmal wieder einen Schnitt machen und dann werden wir beim nächsten Mal hier kämpfen. Defeat the enemy forces to prevent the advance into Tahira. All heroes must survive. Jo, dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao!